Hey guys, William Redshaw here, or King Carotine, and welcome to Choices. So this is a game where you choose like different decisions and like go through the game. But I just want to hop into this game. I'm not sure how long this game is, so it might be multiple episodes or it might be just one. But I just wanted to play this type of game for you guys because I enjoy these type of games, and I hope you guys too. So I'm guessing we need to click one of these. We have a click, and the sun went out, and their souls were eaten, and their heroes were lost. Let's do it. The sun went out. Getting updates on the story. Okay. We'll load that. Tin Man Games. He looks very angry. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, develop with it. Yeah, whatever. I am 13 years old or older. Choices in an interactive fiction app that update once per week. Supported by in-app purchases. First part of the story is free. So the first part of the story is free. Then I need to buy the rest. So I guess I'll have to do the first part anyway. There is no death in your future, but that does not mean your decisions are without risk. Choices. What do I do? Oh, okay. Thanks for choosing this story. Here are some free tickets. Some free tickets to get you started. Let me turn that down real quick. 'Cause that's loud. Anyway, Day 95 and the orange ball of gas that sustained life on the planet for billions of years was still burning in the sky. So that must be the sun? The scientists were completely wrong, thankfully. Something vibrated on my wrist. I raised my hand and studied the watch-like device. It was Moticon, or simply Moti, as I called them. Hello, teacher. The temperature this afternoon is a crisp 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I do hope you're wearing a warm jacket. Don't forget that you also need to pick up a travel documents from Miss Montague. She's expecting you at her home. We have to go to our teacher's home? That's crazy. Stepping out of the train car, I adjusted my coat. Moti was right. I should have worn the one with wool lining. Too late to worry about that now. Dolores Montague's house wasn't too far away from the train station. As my boots crunched... What is that sound? It's crazy. As my boots crunched through the snow, I felt Moti vibrating on my wrist. As ever, Moti's cheerful face greeted me. Moti, what do you want, buddy? You have just received a message from Professor Soul. He is insisting you see his latest breakthrough right away. Rendezvous with Dolores. Visit Professor Soul. So we have to get these back to... I really want to know what the science thing is. So we'll visit Professor Soul. Dolores could wait. Even if Soul's matter wasn't urgent, he had to become unhinged since the incident. We'll swing by the Professor's place first, Moti. Send a message to Dolores to let her know that I might be a little late. Okay, would you like to review the message I composed? Yes, we would. Do we trust Moti? Yeah, I guess we'll see what Moti's put. Dolores, I'll be slightly delayed, unfortunately. Is this message accurate, teacher? And the message is okay. It's pitch perfect, Moti. I knew you could do it. Thank you, teacher. I have sent the message. I think we can trust Moti then. Before I knew it, I was trudging through the bitter snow on the professor's front lawn. There was a dull, muffled noise coming from inside the house. I pushed the buzzer next to the front door and waited. Yes? A voice came through the intercom. It sounded a little strange. More than usual, anyway. It's me, Professor. I'm in the basement. There was a relief in his voice. Sorry about that. There was a relief in his voice. Okay. Click. And that was the sound of a door unlocking. And that door needs some oil. Taking that as an invitation, I opened the door and let myself in. I noticed a large suitcase sitting by the front door. From its bulging sides, I had an impression it was overpacked. Was Sol going somewhere? He hadn't said anything about a trip. Oh, I'm going to examine the suitcase. I knelt by the luggage and examined it. There was a tag labelled Flying Falls. Why was the professor going there? More importantly, it looked like it was packed in a great hurry. The professor wasn't exactly a beacon of tidiness, but this was messy even by his standards. Wait, what? A spatial efficiency in the suitcase is very poor. I recommend repacking it, teacher. I chuckled as I stood up and walked towards the stairs. I'll pass your advice along to Professor Moti. I opened the door to the basement and gingerly felt my way down the wooden stairs. It was as black I can't speak. It was as black as pitch down there, and I could barely see the front of my face. Suddenly I was hit in the face by a light switch cord as I fumbled to grip it. A voice rasps in my ear. No, it must remain dark. Jumping from a shock of the hot breath on my ear, I let go of the cord. I'm going to say, Professor, is that you? Professor, is that you? A dim glow appeared, highlighting a dissolved, unshaven face. His reddened eyes bored into mine as he beckoned over me with a bony finger. You must see this. Come quickly. Is it the professor, though? Yeah, it is. It must be. I hesitated, remembering what happened last time. Let's approach the professor. I want to do this. Slowly, I inched towards the professor. Scattered papers with frenzied scrawling littered the desk and floor. An ocean of ideas spilling out from the brain and flooding the dark room. Something caught my eye. That same symbol we saw at the start. You saw it too? Sol's tone reached fever pitch as a grimy finger pinned the paper with the strange symbol. He began to ramble incessantly about theories and equations. Scanning the desk, I noticed a battered diary with a lock. I wondered if its contents were more comprehensible than the professor. I think I'm going to examine the diary. While Sol was absorbed in his mad rantings, I lifted the book in my hands and turned it over. Noticing that I had his diary, the professor finally stopped talking about his theories. It's locked, he stated, before continuing on with his theories. We shouldn't have picked up that diary, we wasted a ticket, didn't we? Teacher, my linguistics processing unit might be damaged. I am unable to understand Professor Sol. I swallowed a laugh, knowing I had gained control of this conversation somehow. Sol? I interrupted. What's this got to do with the sun? Why did you call me? I'm just going to say, why did you call me? Because, you know, that's kind of a full, you know, general thing. Call you? I didn't call you. Are you sure? Something about the sun? Sol paused for a moment, then looked at me, excited. Yes, the sun. It all comes back to the sun. People have the right to... A glint caught my eye from the top of the stairs, and I instinctively stepped back. Bang. Did we just get shot, or was that the door? Sol cried out that... No. Sol just got freaking shot, didn't he? Then slumped to the floor. Professor! I leaned to his side and fluttered my hands over his chest, desperate to stop the bleeding, but not wanting to hurt my friend. Hands shaking, I glanced back at the top of the stairs and spotted a shadowy figure running off. A gurgling sound made me turn my head back to Sol. He looked like he was trying to tell me something. Ugh. I don't know, because if we focus on the bleeding, like, that could be it. Like, we might not be able to know what he's going to tell us. He could tell us something really important. I'm going to listen to him. I'm sorry, Sol. I was never much good at anatomy in high school, but I knew what the chances were that he'd survive. I tilted my head and lowered my ear as close as possible to the professor's mouth, my heart thundering. Nothing. He was still. Soul? Oh no. He passed. We could have helped him. Oh, we've already made a bad decision. Teacher, the professor has passed. Darn it. Damn it, silently cursing. I was about to pull my trembling hands away from his chest when I felt something under the professor's lab coat. Steadying my hand, I reached and pulled it out of his pocket. It was a card sleeve containing a printed bus ticket, emblazoned with a red and white coyote logo of a long-distance bus company. Itinerary scanned and stored. Travel destination, Flying Falls. So he was going to Flying Falls. A single thought broke through my shock. The murderer was getting away. Not having any time to think, I pushed the ticket into his pocket and ran over to Sol's working desk and pulled open the top drawer, knowing what I'd find inside. The professor's revolver. It was a small gun at 8 inches in length, and it was made of sturdy stainless steel. I glanced over at Sol's lifeless body one last time. "I'm sorry, Professor," I whispered. God. I snatched up the revolver and leaped up the stairs. The murderer couldn't have gone very far, not with the adrenaline pumping through my veins. I could see the door swinging wide open from the attacker's intrusion. Slowly and carefully approach it, charge through it. I'm going to slowly and carefully do it. I want to be careful. Raising the gun, I kept my form low and moved slowly towards the front door, ensuring I always had my option to duck behind something solid. Once I was next to the door, I pressed my back against the wall and carefully pushed the door open wider. I leaned out a little and scanned through the opening. No one was outside. Releasing my held breath, I quickly stepped through the door, the bitter cold of the street, hoping that I hadn't lost the trail. Sorry about my throat, guys. Teacher, there are fresh footprints leading to the left. Alright. Thanks, Moti, I said, and followed the trail, my boots sinking into the snow with each heavy step. Desperately, I scanned the street for anyone suspicious. The street was completely bare. It looked like my luck had run out, when suddenly... There, someone was getting onto a bus. That could be them, but before I could go after them, I noticed someone else slipping into a nearby alley. One or the other. It couldn't be both of them. This is a 50-50. The murderer could be down the alley or the murderer could get on the bus. I think he'd get on the bus because he just murdered someone. And like it's probably the best escape and not just in the alleyway. So I'm going to go for the bus stop. The bus was idling as the person in the coat got on board. I ran towards the bus stop frantically, waving to catch the driver's attention. Too late. The bus started to leave, and exhausted, I stopped to catch my breath. I'm going for this bus. You ran out of tickets, so we got you more. You can watch ads. Okay, cool. Let's jump in front of this bus. Hopefully we don't die. There was only one thing for it. I jumped right in front of the bus and braced myself. There was a high-pitched screech of brakes and a growl and... let me try that again. There was a high-pitched screech. Oh my god, I can't say it. There was a high-pitched screech oh my god, of brakes, and the growl stopped inches from my face. You damn fool, trying to get yourself killed? Get aboard before I change my mind. The driver was furious. I climbed aboard and paid my fare. Absentmindedly, thankfully, thanking the driver as I began scanning the passengers. The front door closed and we began to drive off again. Let's question a passenger. I sat down next to an old woman and asked her if she'd seen anyone get on the bus before me. Afraid not, dear. I wasn't paying much attention. She looked out at the sky, where the sun was visible only as an eerie glow through the clouds. What awful times we live in. Who Who knows when this will disappear again. So this sun's like disappearing on us. Like, that's not good, man, because like honestly the earth could just freeze easily. I nodded politely and stood up. It looked like I had to rely on myself. I slowly made my way to the rear of the bus, stupidly looking at each passenger. None of the passengers were in any way suspicious to me. Okay, we're at 15 minutes right now. We're doing okay. Teacher, no one here matches the physical measurements of the person we encountered in Professor Sol's basement. Are you kidding me? Cursing silently, I turned around and started heading back from the front, when my eyes caught a familiar figure in an overcoat outside the bus. I couldn't help but gasp. Most of my face was hidden by their scarf, but I could see their eyes staring into my own. They glinted gold in the light, unsettling me. I felt a chill in my bones. Somehow, I knew they were the murderer. "Stop the bus," I shouted, and I sprinted towards the front. "Again? Screw yourself." The driver snapped back, clearly annoyed. The bus wasn't stopping. I don't want to threaten him because we could get ourselves killed. So I'm just going to reason with him. "Please, it's an emergency." "Next stop is in 2 minutes," the driver replied unrelentingly. That was when I saw it. I leapt towards the other side of the door and mashed the emergency stop button with my fist. Screech. The bus skidded to a halt. Several of the passengers cried out in surprise. "What are you doing? I got a schedule to keep." I'm so sorry about my throat, guys. I really am. I need to get off this bus. The driver, still angry at me, opened the front door. I leapt off the bus, my feet pounding on the concrete as I sprinted towards the figure in the coat. They turned around and entered an alley. Honk. I was about to step into the path of a speeding car. If I jump, the car's going to get angry at me. And I could get myself killed. And I don't want that. You know what? I'm going to jump. Let's do it. "Teacher, stop!" Oh God, what have we done? I leapt as a speeding car skidded towards me. Ba-dumph. My bottom hit the bonnet of the moving car, and miraculously I slid across it harmlessly. Landing on my feet on the other side of the car, I took a fraction of a second to recover my balance before sprinting towards the alley. As soon as I entered the alley, the person with the golden eyes suddenly stepped in front of me. I was stunned for only a moment before raising my gun. However, it was too late. The last thing I saw was a fist. I opened my eyes and stared up at the cloudy sky. I was on my back, with snow in my clothes and hair. Teacher, are you okay?" "I'm fine, Moti," I said before wincing from the pain. And I sighed. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Before wincing from the pain at the side of my head, I touched it and looked at my fingers, flakes of dried blood. My head was bleeding, but no longer. How long was I out? "Only 5 minutes, teacher. Please, you must go to the hospital. You might have a concussion." I don't think we have time for that. 5 minutes was more than enough time for the murderer to disappear. Feeling like I was missing something, I searched my surroundings. Then it hit me. Professor Sol's revolver. It was missing. Golden Eyes must have taken it. Then I felt my phone vibrating in my pocket. Nothing I could do about my revolver now. Moti, who's calling? "It's Mrs. Montague. This is her 5th call." 5 calls in the past 5 minutes? Put her through, Moti. "Actually, she's been calling for 10 minutes. Since joining your pursuit, I'll put her through now, teacher." I heard the call connect. "The laws?" "We know why she's calling. She wants us there to drop off this I don't know what it was that we're dropping off, to be honest. What? Of course not, Dolores answered, sounding bewildered. How long are you planning to make me wait? I winced this time, not from physical pain. Sorry, I'll be there as soon as I can. Just hurry up. She hung up the phone before I couldn't say anything else. I would have told her about Saul's murder otherwise. So she's nice. While I was stuffing my phone back into my pocket, I felt an unfamiliar weight in my jacket. Pulling it out, I recognised the object immediately. It was Professor Saul's diary. I must have taken it with me by accident after all the chaos with Saul. It suddenly occurred to me that all of Saul's research which I needed was still in the professor's basement. On the other hand, I had made Dolores wait long enough and I really needed the itinerary from her. Teacher, what shall we do? I think I'm going to end it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of this weird story game. I'm really enjoying it. So far, all we've learned is we have a character named... I don't know his name, actually. He doesn't have a name, does he? But we have Moti, which is our kind of phone wristband kind of thing. You know, like an Apple Watch. We have Mr. Montague, Dolores Montague, which is kind of our teacher, I think. Then we have Professor Saul, who's been murdered, and I'm guessing was a good friend of ours and trying to stop this sun problem. Then we have Golden Eyes, the murderer. So we gave him a nickname because he had them weird golden eyes. Interesting. I wonder if Dolores has something to do about this, though. Because I bet we're going to be telling Dolores. So I might go with Dolores. But for now, guys, you guys can decide in the comments. I'm going to see you all in the next video. If you want one. Because if you do want another episode of this, guys, please leave a like. Because I will do another one. I'll catch you all later.